I decided to work on animations despite not knowing the first thing about it, and I got some results, so I want to share my ambitions and my process with you. What I'm sharing now is what I tried in the past. I don't have a lot of experience. My goal is to make a whole series by myself, and I'm already making a webcomic and that's hard enough already, but animation is what I love the most. And I thought it was impossible, but turns out it isn't if you allow it to be janky. My process is pretty much just the same way I approach the comic. Don't fear to mess up, don't fear mistakes, let them go. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be good enough, which means it needs a clear direction, it needs your input. I did this whole thing in 2 days. The first thing I did was a storyboard. I'm just adapting my comic into animation, but I do need to figure out what shots I want, what I want to add. So using my own comic as a storyboard, it's not that good. Then I picked a scene that was easy enough to make a start with, and then get into harder things as time goes on. I already sort of had the background. I repurposed some assets I used for previous chapters of my comic, and I had to fix it to fit a horizontal resolution. So I had to delete everything and start the composition from scratch mostly. I do use Blender, so my backgrounds are in 3D, which makes them very easy to repurpose. I had this done in 2 hours. I reshaped some assets and then I placed them again to fit my vision. I placed and animated the camera and rendered the viewport into a video that I imported in Clip Studio Paint, where I started the animation process. I realized, yeah, this won't do. I'll just animate everything in flat and add it back to Blender later. And so I did. I animated everything without a background, but before that I did a test to see if what I wanted to do was going to work, and it did. My logic for animating is, okay, I did see a few YouTube videos, but they didn't really help. What I was getting was, you need to sort of feel it out, and I dismissed everything shortly after, because if that's the case, then it's up to me. And it will be, because I'm not playing games here. I want to give it my all, but also not take a lifetime to make it, because I also want to do other stuff. So yeah, the only thing I have in mind when animating and making frames is that ball bouncing. I do the in-betweens as if I were trying to stretch stuff, and I use references for the rest when needed. If you're looking for perfection and good techniques, look elsewhere. Well, I did the sketches and then I traced them as cleanly as I could, so not very clean, but clean enough that I was able to pocket fill everything, and I did some quick shading and then back to Blender. Here I placed the little dude in the background, then I replaced the previous iteration that I did, and then when everything looked good, I rendered the 3D background and later rendered everything together, and here we go. This is what the final product should look like. This is what I want to make. It could get better as time goes, just like my comic did, but for now it's good enough. And I'm sure I can do this, and if you want to, you could too. I'm not going to go over on how to use the programs I use, there are plenty of videos about that. Just know I did not go to school. I'm self-taught, and of course I learned everything else from YouTube videos, so if you also want to do your own thing, you totally can. No one is dumb enough. And it's me telling you this, the biggest fool of them all, that thinks he can finish an animated series before dying. But I will, with any luck. I don't know if it will be pretty, but I'll try to. I'll try to make my best. I try to do what I want. I try to make what I want to make. And that makes me very happy, and I hope it can make you happy too. If you have something that could help me, feel free to share, and I'll try to keep sharing things that could help you as well. Thanks for watching.